Hey, what's up everyone? It's Asad here. Good to see you again. I hope you've been enjoying the content on the channel lately. For those of you who have been following, you know that I've been doing some of these collaborations and featuring other really great magicians. I had Xavier Spade on, I had Spidey on. I've got a few more of those collaboration videos coming up for you to look forward to. But before I publish those, I wanted to show you this giant and exciting package that arrived at my home. This was sent to me from Murphy's Magic, and inside is their brand new line of really affordable close-up pads. So I've seen pictures of them, I've seen the trailer video, but I haven't actually felt them and seen them in person. So I'm gonna unbox this in front of you and give you my first impressions and then just do kind of a more thorough review of these close-up pads. But before I get into that, I'm going to show you some of the other close-up pads that I have in my little collection. I love close-up pads. So I have some really nice premium ones that are quite expensive, and then I can kind of compare and contrast them to the more affordable close-up pads so that you can make a better informed decision on what type of pad that you want to get for yourself. And by the way, if you're studying magic and practicing sleight of hand, then I highly recommend that you do pick up a close-up pad, whether it's a really cheap one or an expensive one, or you could even make your own. But that surface really goes a long way and will help you with a lot of different techniques and moves, and maybe we'll talk about that a bit more later on. All right, so the first kind of premium pad I'll show you is the one that I use in so many of my videos. I get questions all the time in the comment section like, hey, what is that green surface thing that you use? So this is it. This is called the Magic Surface. This was produced by Dan and Dave, and as you can tell, it looks really nice. It's got like this wooden border around it, really nice cushion. Nice soft surface. The back is all wood. It's just like a premium pad. The only downside is that it is quite expensive. So I think after shipping and everything, you're looking at close to $400, which is significantly more than some of the more affordable options out there. But you know, if you really want a luxury pad, this is definitely a good option. And I think for me, like, I wanted my videos to look really good, and so this is just a nice aesthetic addition to my videos, and that's why I was willing to invest that much money into it. But you know, if you're just looking for something to practice on, then maybe not the best option. Here's another pad that I really love to have in my collection. It's a completely custom pad. So on the front, it just looks like a standard black surface, which it is. Really nice fabric, nice cushion. But on the back, let's see if the camera catches this. What you'll notice is that it's completely engraved, laser engraved with the mint pattern. This is the brand that I started, so it's really nice to have a pad to kind of accompany it. So this was made by Ryan Edwards. I'll drop a link in the description box down below. He has a website where you can customize your own pad and you can choose everything. You can choose like, oh, I want this type of fabric, I want this color on the front, I want this type of backing, and he'll make it for you. He makes everything himself. Again, it's expensive. I don't know exactly how much he would charge. It kind of just depends on the materials that you're using and the size of the pad and, you know, all those specifications. But if you want something completely custom, then this is where to go for it. All right, here's another one. This is called the Rogues Arena, and it's massive. This is the biggest pad that I own by far. This was produced by Brian Brushwood over at Scam School, and just a really high quality, massive pad, super soft surface. The back is great too. It's got this wooden back, and you can even lay it on your surface like that and use this to roll dice on or whatever stuff you want to do. But if you need a really large surface, maybe you're at like a bar setting or whatever the situation is, this is a good option. But once again, very expensive. I don't remember the exact price at the top of my head, but it is definitely a couple $100 at least. Before I unbox the new pads from Murphy's Magic, I did want to give an honorable mention to this little guy. So this is a three-way mirror, actually. An amazing practicing tool. I already did a full product review on this in the past, so I'll link you to that in the description box and on the screen. But when you fold it up, it also doubles as a close-up pad. Now, it's not nearly as cushiony or have as much of that give as the other close-up pads, but it's enough in many cases. And you can also like unfold it to get a pretty large size pad out of this. Now, the more you unfold it, the less cushion it has, and it already doesn't have that much. So it's not like a complete replacement to a close-up pad. It's actually best used in conjunction with a close-up pad because you have your surface on the table, and then you kind of just stand this upright behind it, and now you have the perfect practicing environment. But you know, it's a great portable pad. You can throw this into your backpack. It's kind of hard, it's flexible. So as far as portability goes, it's up there. It's one of the best pads if you're looking for something to take on the go with you. But now let's get into the unboxing of the brand new, super affordable pads from Murphy's Magic. Okay, so as you can see, we have quite a few different variations. Okay, so what Murphy's did is they didn't just release one, version of this new close-up pad. They give you options, and so they have a variety of different sizes, different thicknesses, and different colors. As far as price goes, these range anywhere from $7, which is super cheap, up until $25, which is also very affordable, especially when compared to those premium pads. I'll open some of these up and show you some of the differences in the thickness. I'll give you a better look at the colors, without the cellophane wrapping. And I want to kind of actually do some card work on it and let you know how the pads actually feel, how soft and smooth the surface is, how much cushion there is, and just like how aesthetic these pads are. So just give me a second and let me unwrap some of these for you. By the way, before I unwrap these, I should show you how they come packaged when they're shipped out. You just have like this cardboard backing for support, and then they're just wrapped in plastic. And that's nice, that makes it really easy to ship. The problem with some of those premium pads is that they're all really heavy, and then, as far as shipping goes, you usually have to pay a ton in shipping as well. But these can ship for an affordable postage fee, and they're quite well protected. Okay, so let me go ahead and unwrap now. All right, so let me start off by doing a size comparison between the two versions. So this one right here is 16 by 23, that's in inches, and then the smaller version is 11 by 16. So a pretty big difference in size. Let me actually line up the corners here. They'll probably give you a bit of a better perspective. So just depending on, like where you see yourself using this in the context, that's how you can decide which size is right for you. Personally, I think I like the smaller size version for myself, just because it fits within the frame of my camera easier, and it's just more than enough space for me to do pretty much everything that I would want to do with a close-up pad. But for some of you, you might have different uses and you might need a larger surface, so that is available. The next thing I want to talk about is the rubber backing. So this is what makes these pads so much more affordable than the more expensive pads, because those premium pads have like a hard back or like a wooden backing, which makes it much more difficult to produce, much more costly to produce, and therefore you really have to pay for that. But this rubber backing, super simple, and it works. I guess one advantage to it is that it kind of sticks to the surface, so it's not going to budge around or anything once you have it. Lays flat. You can even curl it up, and it's somewhat portable that way, and you can just unravel it whenever you want it. So there's actually some benefits to having a rubber backing. It just doesn't look quite as nice, it doesn't feel like that same luxury item as the premium pads do. But as far as usability, no issues. Now, as far as the surface of these pads, all the different versions of the Murphy's pads have the same exact material used on the surface, and it's nice. It's soft. It's not as soft as the premium pads. Those premium pads usually use like a felt material or a velvet material. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but it's soft enough, and my first instinct is that it seems like it will hold up well over time. I don't really have any concerns upon my first examination of it. Okay, it comes in a few different colors, by the way. So I've shown you the blue. Here's the shade of red that it comes in. Comes in the green, and then it comes in the black. So you can choose which color suits you best. You may also want to consider, what color cards do you typically use? And it's kind of nice to have a card surface that complements the color of the cards that you're using. But, that's just a minor detail. Let me talk about now just how it feels to actually use the pad. Okay, so I'm just going to handle this deck on the surface for a bit. By the way, this is the thinnest version available. So there's 3 different thicknesses. So I'll try some of the thicker ones in a second and let you know, how much of a difference it actually makes. But this one right here, I think I would need a bit of time to make a full judgment. But my first impression is that it's sufficient. It's definitely enough. The more you practice, these card handling moves, and especially when it comes to tabled sleights, the less cushion you really need to aid some of those handling techniques. So this is definitely enough. But thicker pads do feel quite nice. So I'm curious to see what the other ones will be like. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a super affordable pad, you know, this is a great option. You know, it's kind of hard to go wrong when they only cost $7, right? Let me try the next thickest one. That should be this one right here. So actually, let me do kind of like, I'll try to show you like the side profile. It might be a little difficult to see on the camera, but you can see that the red one is a bit thicker, right? You can definitely notice a difference between the thinnest and thickest one, so I'll do the thickest one next. But this is like the medium version. And upon first impression, I don't feel that much of a difference between this one and the previous one. I mean, yeah, I mean, it is a little bit thicker, but does it have that much of an effect on, you know, the feel of it? Not so much. Let me try the thickest one. Because this one is noticeably like much thicker. Like, look how thick that is compared to the thinnest one. Big difference, right? So let me give that a try and see how that feels. Here we go, and here we go. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more of a give. Like, that extra cushion is there. Yeah, that's a good feel actually. I like that. I imagine a bit more durable too, you know. I think, you know, I would need, you know, an extended period of time to really decide like how much of an impact this thickness really has. But if you want more cushion, then the thicker options are available for you. Is it necessary? You know, probably not. But, you know, if you're willing to splurge a little extra, and it doesn't even cost that much extra to get the thicker version. So if you're willing to do that, then you might as well, you know, there's no like downside to it. So certain moves really require you to have the soft cushiony surface. One example is a move that I taught a while back. It must have been like 2 years ago at this point, called the jumping card. And that's where you take a card and you deal it to the table, and in the process, it just jumps back to the deck. There's no way you can do that on a hard surface. You need a close-up pad. And the thicker the pad, the more cushion you have, the easier that is going to be to do. Okay, so that's one example, but there's plenty of examples out there of, you know, different techniques and tricks that require a close-up pad. So, you know, my first impression of these economy pads they're great. It's a really great value for your buck. And by the way, if you're interested in getting one of these pads, 52 Cards is an authorized retailer for a lot of Murphy's Magic products, including this one. So I'll drop a link in the description and on the screen here if you would like to purchase one, and I'll get that shipped out to you ASAP. All right. If you have any questions about you know, the pads or anything else, really, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you like this video, please do give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content about magic and cards and sleight of hand and all sorts of cool stuff like that. All right, see you guys in the next video. Peace.